putting in the work might seem like starting either a YouTube channel or organizing communities of ladies and having ladies and you're steering that community, or putting in the work can be improving your speaking skills because maybe you do not have the speaking skills at that point, or improving your public speaking skills. And putting in the work can mean like taking people for coffee date and just asking them how they did it for them, or providing the free services to people around you so that you can be able to have that visibility and people to know what you can be able to impact others with. Hello and welcome here to another episode of Your Purpose with Edda. This channel was built for people who are willing to grow in their purpose, people who are willing to develop themselves as individuals and identify their purpose and live in their purpose, and also combine that with their personal development, because we can't talk about purpose without talking about our personal development, because all these two things are intertwined. And personal development is something that we all, if you have known your purpose or not, we all need to actually be in that personal development journey. And I know it can be different for everyone. But welcome here to another episode of Your Purpose with Edda. And I am glad if you are new here, welcome. You are in the right place. You are in the right place because what that tells me is that you are determined to know who you are and fully evolve into the person that God created you to be. And welcome yet to the community members. Welcome to this episode. And today we are going to talk about the mindset. We are going to talk about the mindset. We are going to talk about a purpose-driven mindset. So how does it look like living on a daily basis with our purpose in mind? How does it look like? Because everything that we know of has to start with the mind. And even the Bible tells us, transform yourselves by renewing your minds. And so that is why it is very important for us to talk about the mindset, because when you change your mindset about something, chances are very high that that aspect of your area is either going to grow or develop into what you want, because it all begins in the mind. And so when you're talking about the purpose-driven mindset, we're talking about two people here. So the first person, these people who have identified their purpose through either things like pain and their lifestyle experiences. And we have the second category of people. These are people who have identified their purpose through their passions and gifts. These two people are totally different people, because one person is coming from pain and either their lifestyle experiences that are shaping up who they are, and the other person is coming from a point of, this is something that I love doing, this is something that I enjoy doing. So you see, these are two different mindsets. But all along, when you look at how purpose evolves, you realize that even if they are two different people, the mindset has to be almost aligned, but it's just that they will follow different paths, right? So the first mindset that all these two people have to understand is that we can't talk about purpose without talking about service to others or service to people. Our purpose is literally for the service of other people and not for just us. Us, it is just we have our hobbies, we have our gifts, we have actually even gifts for the service of other people, but we have our hobbies, we have our passions. Those are things that you can work around on, right? And no, when we're talking about a purpose driven mindset, it has to be a mindset of, how am I impacting lives? How am I growing different people and influencing them in different areas of their lives? So you see that this person has to be keen on working on their discipline, they have to be working on being consistent, they have to be keen on moving and showing up in spaces as who they want to be recognized to be. So the second purpose-driven mindset that you have to have when you're talking about somebody who is purposeful is you have to be willing to put in the work. And when you're talking about work, we are talking about, you have to be resilient, you have to be either putting yourself in spaces where you can be able to be visible to people who need your services, right? And this does not just come naturally to us. To some people it just comes naturally, but to some, especially for those people who identify their purpose through either pain or their lifestyle experience, it might not just come easily, because the person who identifies their purpose through either their gifting or their passions, they could be confident in themselves and in what they are doing. But the other category of people, it could seem like I have to refine what I have in my mind. I have to do more research. I have to be able to talk to more people. I have to be able to attend many conferences for me to actually give a solution to these words, because I feel irritated when I see this specific thing. And that is why it's important that you understand how you actually identified your purpose, so that you can know which mindset shift you should have, which mindset that you should be able to acquire. So when you're talking about putting in the work, it might look different for each and every different person, because we have different purposes. So for example, if your purpose is actually to impact people through, maybe, let's say, talking about maybe talking to ladies, empowering ladies. So putting in the work might seem like starting either a YouTube channel or organizing communities of ladies and having ladies and you're steering that community. Or putting in the work can be improving your speaking skills, because maybe you do not have the speaking skills at that point, or improving your public speaking skills. And putting in the work can mean like taking people for coffee dates and just asking them how they did it for them, or talking providing your free services to people around you, so that you can be able to have that visibility and people to know what you can be able to impact others with. So we have to be ready to put in the work. It is not an easy job, and what I normally appreciate is that we can be able, even as we are doing all this hard work, at some point when we are moving in our purpose, at some point you will see that things like financial gains, these are things that will come easily to us, because we are aligned and we are doing things passionately, and people can see the passion that we have, and they can be able to pay for what we are offering the service for, right? So the other third mindset that you need to have is that you need to focus on the meaning of a success. This is something that maybe you might start with very high passion. You're very passionate about this thing, and then when you get in between there, you get to interact with different systems, you get to interact with different people, and you realize that, oh, so there is a way that I can actually there are loopholes to this thing, and I can find my way out and maybe make more money out of it. We have to focus on meaning, and that is why it's very important to understand things like delayed gratification. Maybe if you didn't find it whatever that you wanted today, maybe you just need to push a little bit harder. You just need to organize that other one more community event. You just need to attend that other one more conference for you to actually be able to proceed further. So we have to look at the meaning of a success, and it's not just about the financial or the profit aspect of it, but we also have to look at what people are we influencing? Are we really influencing them? Are we really providing practical steps on how they can be able to improve their lives? Or am I just doing it for the social media, or am I just doing it for other things? So those are things that we need to always be in a point where we are questioning ourselves these things, so that we see that we are actually still in line with our purpose. And it is the same as well for people who have either they have a gifting and they would like to, maybe they have started a business out of it. It might start well as a purposeful business, but along the lines you realize that maybe there are loopholes that you can take advantage of. You have to always keep on reminding yourself that I am doing this for my purpose, and just to ensure that we are creating impact to people out there, and not just for us to get money, because not so many people are doing this, and now you have to you have to be in that battle of, do I do this, that's something that is already being done in the system, or do I choose to do better and create impact for people? So the last mindset shift that we need to have is that you need to understand who you are representing, because once you understand who you are representing, it will be very easy for you to, even in those dilemmas, even when you have a loophole that you can be able to take advantage of, it will be easy for you to remember, I am actually doing this for God, so, and just focus on doing the right thing, and so that you can be able to create impact. So it's a matter of understanding, who am I representing? A representative of God when I am speaking right here. So even the words that are coming out of my mouth, probably they're not my words, they're words from Christ who is in me, who is speaking to people. So it's a matter of understanding uh, how I should also represent Christ in my bodily form, and also just understanding what values am I bringing in, because more often as people who are living in purpose, we are, what is required of us is authenticity, and that is what people actually connect with. So we have to continuously remind ourselves that we are just representatives of Christ, and we need to be able to move with authenticity, because Christ has already created the way for us to be able to create the impact out there. And for sure, there will be, like, even the disciples, they were persecuted by the Pharisees, they were thrown words at them, but what did they do? They continued with their discipleship. And that is the same way that we need to live as people who are purposeful, because for sure those things are going to come, those criticism is going to come. You don't have to like it or not, it is going to come at some point. And that is why we have to continuously remind ourselves who we are representing on this earth, and so that we can be able to know that even if we get to any level where we are pushed to our limits, we need to remember who we are representing, and we have to choose the right thing. And it's a matter of, it's not an easy task, for sure. It is not an easy task. And that is why even discipleship is not easy. And even the people who have been able to invent things and create things, it wasn't an easy task. It wasn't an easy task. And that is why you have to always remind yourself who you are representing and how you want to show up in this world authentically. And that has to come from you as an individual. Remind yourself that over and over again, so that even if those battles come, you will know how to maneuver through them, and for sure you will get to the other side. And I hope that actually this has been a very interesting episode for you, and I hope that you actually get to continuously have this purpose driven mindset, and just remind yourself that you are not alone. For sure, you are not alone. You doing it the way you are doing it, or you going through the challenges that you are facing, you are not the only one. It is just part of the process, and that is what life is all about. And also, if we can't always be waiting for the glorious moment or the one big event for us to be happy, we have to look at our happiness in the day to day activities that are happening in our lives, and we see where we can at least get some happiness from, because we cannot always be waiting for that upper level thing that is coming to give us that celebration. No, we have to continuously celebrate ourselves, and continuously celebrate yourself, even as you continue. If you face a challenge and then you overcome it, celebrate yourself, so that you give yourself that motivation to keep on pushing and going hard for God, and also for just you, and also you being as a representative of Christ in His world. All right, have a lovely day, and ensure that you subscribe. Let's continue to push this agenda forward, so that also we may find more and more people getting to know their purpose, growing in their purpose. And I'm happy to see that most people are actually creating businesses out of things that they enjoy, out of a pain that they felt, out of an experience that they had. I am loving it, because what does that show me? It shows me that people are thriving in their areas of purpose. All right, have a lovely day and have a purposeful week ahead. Bye bye.